Hi, everyone. Welcome to Film Vets. I'm your host, Paul Dixon, and with me is my co-host,
Shazam. I mean, Dan. Shadan.
Shadan. My Shadana. Yeah, we're going to watch Shazam today.
Yay.
Between, stupid, lame jokes like I just did. Great.
Let's
move on.
I don't know any Shazam puns other than
there's one that he says like holy moly or
holy moly.
Yeah.
Is it just supposed to highlight how young he is?
Yeah, it was what kids said back then, I guess, and it was whatever.
I feel like no kids has ever said holy moly. I've said holy balls.
Can you imagine if he just said holy balls? That was his catchphrase. Holy balls.
That would be hilarious.
If he says holy balls in this trailer, Dan, you get a cookie.
I expect that FedEx to me overnight.
It sounds good. Let's do it. Lucy Lou.
We are at war. We will annihilate everything.
That makes
sense.
Oh
yeah.
The of this realm can do nothing to stop us.
Nothing.
That's true.
You are very menacing. I just want you to know that.
Oh, this is gonna be wonderful. Helen Mirran.
Changed in the last few years. The wizard gave me superpowers. And then everybody got superpowers.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
All right, here's the situation.
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
The daughters of Atlas are coming to hunt us.
Children stole
Lebre.
the power of the gods. You ripped it from our father's core.
Okay, I feel like maybe I should be writing all this down.
Powers,
Your world will not survive this.
How is the wizard back? Interesting.
Hey, Khaleesi!
Yeah.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
All right,
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
we have one job to do. Save the world.
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
Cool.
I can't do
Wow.
this. Take my powers back. You gave them to me so you could take them back, right?
I spent millennia searching for a worthy champion. You know exactly what must be done.
Billy, what are you doing?
I have to do this.
We end this now.
Well, this could go bad.
Yeah, we do.
Oh boy.
Started
Hey, unicorns?
here.
Whoa.
From the bottom, now the whole team here.
Is that a Minotaur?
Okay. Look like it. Yeah.
Started from the bottom.
Wow.
That was the trailer for Shazam, the final trailer before the film releases. Dan, what'd you think?
I think it's going to hold a lot of the spirit that the original Shazam movie had. It had a lot of the heart, a lot of the silliness, while a lot of the antagonist, the bad guy, kind of took a little bit of a backseat to that character development. So he wasn't super strong. He was just kind of that driving force to keep the character development moving forward. But it was worthwhile. It was worth watching Zachary Levi in that role. It was just refreshing to see from DC. So I'm fully expecting that same exact translation into this movie with a much stronger antagonist. So I'm excited. It looks like it's going to be a wild ride, if anything. What do you think?
I'm of two minds about it. I think it looks great. I think the trailer looks fun. I would say I'm super hyped for it, but it looks like it's going to be a good continuation to the last movie, which I enjoyed a lot. I thought it was one of the best DC movies made in the, Snyderverse version. The problem I have feeling in the back of my head is we're getting a reboot of the entire DC universe with James Gunn helming it. And they're basically starting from scratch. It feels like they are. I don't think Zachary Levi's Shazam is going to be around after that. Therefore, it's kind of, this feels like a one-off, even though it's a sequel, but it doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere beyond that. So I don't know if that really matters, though, if you think about it. It's like, that was, a lot of the Dark Knight only had 3 movies. It wasn't connected to the extended DC universe. but we still love those films.
Exactly.
Maybe we can kind of look at it that way and say, okay, even though it's not connected to this entire universe that's coming, it's still a valid film if it's well made. And that's just what I'm hoping for. A really fun movie. I'm going to go see it. I'm going to get tickets for it. I love the entire cast. I love the idea of Shazam giving his powers to his family to create this family of superheroes, which they did in the comics as well. So yeah, overall, I think this will be fun at the very least. And if it's disappointing, it doesn't matter because it's not connected to anything.
Exactly. But I'm glad you pointed that out, especially with like the Dark Knight, trilogy. The fact that it was it wasn't completely disassociated. It didn't do anything to slander the source material. It paid homage to it beautifully. And I feel like the first Shazam kind of did that. And in that vein, it's trying its best to find itself through this universe or that Snyder universe where it's super dark and gritty, but trying to find its soul in the process. And I appreciate that. I'm glad you brought that up, the fact that it's not something that has a direct fate. It doesn't have something that is driving it into the next movie, into the next quote unquote Avengers, paradigm. It makes it feel like anything can happen. They could come through and kill Shazam. They have full license to do things that they normally wouldn't do. So whether it's good or whether it's bad, they are able to take those risks that they normally wouldn't take.
I would say the film could do that if it was made later than the time frame it is, because
okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because the film was already being made and there was no indication that the Snyderverse was going away at the time. But
okay, and that's fair.
But that doesn't mean they couldn't do it. It just means maybe the director was like writing it out to be, I don't know the future. I don't know if I'll get a third movie. I'm lucky to get a second movie. Who knows what he's thinking? But he could be like, I'm going to throw everything into this. And that could include Shazam dying. It very well could.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate that as long as it's done well. And I go back to, I just want this movie to be good. And to make a fact about that, I feel like all these movies just need to be good on their own. It doesn't matter if they're connected to anything. That's just extra toppings on top of this. If it is connected to something, great. But that shouldn't be the catalyst for it to be a good film. That's just my opinion. I think we're in a place where the Marvel movies in Phase 4, especially, I think mostly because of the COVID times and things like that, but they're just not as strong as they were. And it feels like there's a lot of connected tissue throughout those films and TV shows, but there's no solid ground yet. Hopefully the Ant-Man movie will do that. But I digress. When it comes to this, there's a lot of movies in the DC universe and the Snyderverse that were just not great. Shazam was one of the ones that was a bright spot, and I think that this potentially could be that. We could look back and say, the Shazam movies were at least watchable and fun. And, for every Shazam movie, you've got Birds of Prey which I didn't hate, but apparently a lot of people didn't like that movie. But the Suicide Squad, the first one, you got that crap. So, or I'm sorry to say, Batman v Superman. Didn't care for that.
Martha! Paul, why did you say that name?
I'll say this. There is a slight possibility that maybe James Gunn is like, let's leave Shazam alone. They could say, let's keep it. Why not? It's working. It's not really connected. We haven't had any cameos from anyone. I hear the Gal Gadot cameo is being cut from the film. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Anyway, what do you think of the trailer for Shazam? Are you excited for it? Or are you kind of let down that it's going to be probably one of the last films for the DCEU? Let us know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out our other segments. Thank you so much, veterans, for your service. And thank you for watching today. And thank you, Dan, for being involved.
I try. I feel like I'd be more like asbestos because it's fun to say.
Asbestos?
No, not well, yeah, why not? I'm asbestos. I'm pissed at everything. What god would you be?
No. I don't know. God of sloth.
I should probably get out of bed today.
Get out of bed. Get your vest on. So, bye.
All right,
everyone.
well, bye.